how many of you are new PR pros looking to build a brand? All right, we've got the student section. We love them. How many of you are experienced PR practitioners? All right, we've got a mix. All right, are you a nonprofit or a business owner looking to amp up your marketing? Okay, we've got a lot of people who didn't raise their hand. Why are you here today? If you didn't raise your hand, speak up. We're here to learn about branding, right? We're here to learn about communications. Connie did a great presentation about press releases. Eric was great about getting online. And I'm going to kind of wrap those topics together and build your brand. Now, over the past few years, we've all seen businesses rise and fall. And we've seen talented professionals lose their jobs. Not necessarily for a bad product or a bad job they were performing, but poor marketing, poor strategy, poor vision. They chased one dead-end customer or job after another, only to wind up with nothing to show for it at the end of the day. Now, there's a way to build a brand and build your marketing strategy and be successful. We do that for our clients every day. Or as PR professionals, we'd be out of a job. We'd be wiping down the industry. But what we forget to do is to take that same strategy that we use for our clients and apply it to our own careers and our own lives and our own jobs. So we need to remember to keep the attention on ourselves so we can stay passionate and stay relevant in our industry. Whether you're a new PR practitioner, experienced PR pro, or a business owner trying to revamp your marketing, I hope that our presentation does one thing today. I hope it stops you in your tracks. I hope it stops you from wasting your time putting out other people's fires. I hope it stops you from fantasizing about what your life could be like. Because frankly, it could be a lot of things. And I hope this presentation inspires you to grab onto your wildest dreams, organize a plan to make it all come true. Are you with me? Yeah, all right. Well, good to know. So, when most people think about a brand, they think about that logo, that pretty little mark on the paper. Oh, that's my name, isn't it so stylistically put together? Eric, if you're still in the room, we do love fonts, but that's not the essence of a brand. The essence of a brand is a reflection of every experience a person expects and their emotional reaction to that experience. Some people also confuse branding with marketing. Branding is the foundation and sets a tone for all marketing and sales efforts. That brand is what you want people to know about you, and that helps you build the successful marketing strategy. Now you have a choice to shape that brand or let it be shaped and be responsive to what's around you. Let's talk about two great examples of personal brands. I mean, how can you talk personal branding without thinking of Oprah? What do you think of when I say Oprah? Powerful. Money. Anyone else? You get a car. And guess what today? Under your seats, you're going to find 4 legs because I put those there for you. Oprah, a lot of people think about the intimacy that Oprah brought to tabloid TV. Tissues, a couch, a friend that will listen. Now, many of you know that Oprah wasn't born with a silver spoon in her mouth. From the age of 9, she was molested. She was born to a single mother. And at age 14, she was again molested and became pregnant and had a stillborn child. That didn't stop her. She had a dream. She had a vision of achieving success in the media industry. And so when she tackled the media industry, she got out there and she said, I'm here and I've got a microphone and I'm going to make this work. And you know what she was told? You're too black. You're too fat. And then she lost weight. And what happened? Oh my gosh, you're too thin. Your audience doesn't love you. So she gained weight and then she went back and forth. But all the while, she had a vision and she built a brand to make herself successful. It all starts with that vision and that foundation. Now, another great example of a personal brand is Tim Cook. How many of you have heard the name Tim Cook? We've got a few in the audience. Perfect. Tim Cook is a successor to Steve Jobs. He is now the CEO running Apple computers. Now, what makes him an awesome personal brand? You may not know him right now, but he followed an icon, and he did it while staying true to himself and true to the vision. Cook has a much different leadership style, but because he believes in the core values and the vision of Apple products, he can stay true to himself and stay true to his leadership style and not try to emulate the person who came before him. That allowed him to build trust and keep the momentum with Apple products, except for iOS 7, just saying. So step one in building your brand is understanding what a brand is and making a conscious decision to build your brand. But it's not enough to know that you are a brand. You need to understand what brand message you are sending out. You may feel like a confident, approachable person, but your actions could inadvertently be sending this kind of message. Now, maybe this is the kind of message you want to send if you've got to be in a tough industry, but more than likely it's an inadvertent mistake. In the public relations industry and communications fields, one of the first lessons we learn is that it's your responsibility to make sure that you send a message your audience can understand. It's your responsibility to connect to the people who need to hear your message the most. So how do you understand what kind of message you are sending? You ask. We go back to the basics and we ask. We do that research that we tell our clients to do. Pick 3 to 5 trusted friends, colleagues, maybe even an arch nemesis or two, anyone that's going to give you honest feedback, and ask them, what kind of image do I project? What is it that you think that I do best? Is there anything that I need to work on? Or who's my best customer? Now, I'm not telling you to get this feedback so that you can try and be who that person thinks you are. I want you to understand what the perception that you're sending out is. And it may amp up your style. They may say, oh, Cindy, she only does high-end stuff. Oh, she is uber expensive. And meanwhile, I think, okay, I'm value-based. I keep lower rates, et cetera, et cetera. It could change my perspective on who I am. Now, no one's going to give you the honest answers on the very first round of questions. So take a tip from Dale Carnegie and ask, tell me more. Tell me more. So what do you think I do best? Well, you're a good writer. Tell me more. What is it about the writing that's appealing? What is it about the press communications that's appealing? What is it that I can do better? Tell me a little bit more. And of course, if you think I'm awesome, hashtag Cindy is awesome, tell me more, tell me more. So listen to what they tell you. Think about what you're doing well, what you should keep doing, and create a list of things that you need to fix. The next step is to set your goals. And wise words from Andrew Carnegie: if you want to be happy, set a goal that commands your thoughts, liberates your energy, and inspires your hopes. Now, the number one reason that goal setting programs fail is a lack of passion, enthusiasm, and commitment, because you set goals that you ought to set instead of doing what is right for you and your family. Before you even set your goals, though, the first thing that you need to do is figure out what your one reason to stay on track is. Now, when I started my business in 2009 and businesses were closing all around me, my one reason that I had to do this and that I had to be successful was 6. And she looked up at me with pretty little doe eyes. And I knew that I needed to give my daughter the life that she deserved and a life that we could enjoy together. And I looked at her and I said, we're going to make this, and we're going to make this successful. And that was my one reason to stay on track. Now for you, maybe it's an intense desire to travel. Maybe it's an intense desire to help rescue dogs, or save children, or educate children and empower people. What is that burning desire that takes what you should do to what you can't live without doing? That's your one reason. Then I want you to take the time to build a vision of your ideal life, which I call utopia. Now, your utopia is an ideal state. It's a lifestyle that you're reaching for, but it's a state of mind that I want you to live in right now. That perfection of, I can do this, and I can have a fulfilling life, and I can achieve my dreams. And I want to be happy, because that is going to set the tone for the rest of the goals and priorities that you set. So make it good. Now, many people also take their priorities and values for granted during the goal-setting process. Now, if at the beginning of the year you say, I want to lose 10 pounds and be healthier, but you spend several nights working late and eating pizza and Chinese food, are you achieving your goal of being healthier? No. And I see giggles because we've all done it. I want to be healthier. I want to get to the gym. And you know what? Right now, I need to work and I need to get my priorities straight and I need to make my business successful. That is a legitimate priority. And that's okay if you're going to put your health on the side burner for right now. But what I'm trying to get to is if your priorities are not in alignment with what you're doing, you're creating conflict and frustration. So just accept what your priorities are right now. And right now, it's going to be work. And right now, I'm going to eat pizza tonight. And I'll go exercise tomorrow. And be okay with that. Action expresses priorities. So just be okay with that. So, now that you have a clear vision of the future and you can set the right clear goals, you can be passionate about achieving. And in my book, when you buy them today or online or whatnot, there's many more detailed exercises to identify those priorities and values and get that in alignment and move you forward. Number 3 is value your brand. How many of you are entrepreneurs? Okay, the first question that I get from any entrepreneur is, how much should I charge? How much should I charge for my fees? Oh, is anyone going to pay that? They worry about the price. And I don't want you to confuse price with value. Who has the best example of creating value? Starbucks. Yeah. Anyone else? I go back to Disney. Where else are you going to pay $85 for the opportunity to walk down Main Street and walk into the stores and pay $150 for a dress and then stand an hour in the line to wait for any princess or go-kart ride or whatever is your fantasy? Why am I willing to pay that? Because as a customer, I'm not looking for the cheap trick. I could go to the park for free. What I'm going there looking for is that magic moment, that moment of perfection, where I'm not worried about life, I'm not worried about work, and I'm not worried about, oh, I should have done. It's that moment of peace and perfection. And I go to Disney every year. This picture happens to be my daughter 2 years ago. And at the end of the day, waiting hours and hours and hours to meet Rapunzel, it was wonderful. At the end of the day, they took our picture and they photoshopped in Tinkerbell. And to this day, my daughter believes that Tinkerbell flew into her hands. So that moment, that value, was not just on that day, for years to come and memories. So Disney is amazing at building value into their product. So what I challenge you to do as professionals, as communications professionals, small business owners, think about the value that you bring to your customers on a day-to-day basis. Are you saving them time? Are you getting that hassle out of the way for them? Are you making them money because you're bringing attention to their product and how wonderful they are? If you're doing that, you're bringing value. You're bringing value that's going to last long after you leave. And so think about that before you set your price.